Welcome to the Rat Hole for another episode of The Whole Conversation. Today's guest, Sean Thomas from Devil in the Details. What's up, dude?
What's up, dude? Just chilling.
So, where are you guys from?
We say we're from Omaha, Nebraska, but half the band is from Iowa. But so we just say we're from Nebraska.
Yeah.
I actually live in Nashville, Tennessee now.
That's what I thought I saw, yeah.
Yep, just recently moved. But yeah.
Is
Been
that,
a band for like almost 5 years?
Okay.
Pretty much 5 years, yeah.
So has that changed the demographic of the band with everybody kind of being a little separated now?
Not really, no. It just helps me to, like, the venues down here in Nashville are just, like, crazy. There's so many of them, and the music scene down here is just booming for, like, every type of demographic. I was kind of surprised with how popular metal is down here, so it just helps spread the name of our band a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I guess some people can do that and be able to do things more remotely and kind of spread out like that, and then other people have to be together. It's just not going to work. I guess it's kind of just like relationships. Sometimes people can't do it long distance.
Yeah, for sure. We were kind of worried about that, but over the last couple of years, when we first started as a band, we all wrote together. Like, we'd have practices almost sometimes 3 times a week, but usually just twice a week, and we'd write together. And then about 2 years ago, we had a couple members part ways with us, and we started writing on a computer. Mm-hmm. And then we just continued doing that, and that works pretty well for us.
You guys have kind of evolved your musical style to make up for the other members leaving, right?
Yeah, pretty much, for sure. I wouldn't say just because they left, but I guess it kind of works that way. Like, our music style definitely changed after having those two go away, because one of them was the clean vocalist.
Yeah.
That quit. It was our clean vocalist and bassist, and then I just took over the clean vocals after he left, and that my vocal style is a lot different than what his was. He had, like, a very clean, like, Aaron Gillespie type of voice, and then mine's, like, kind of like Spencer Chamberlain, but then, like, Ollie Sykes, like that pitch scream type stuff.
Yeah, well, I hope this doesn't offend you, but it kind of reminded me of old school It Dies Today.
That doesn't offend me whatsoever, man. They rock.
Good.
Yep.
That's the first thing I thought when I heard it. I was just like, oh, I love that.
Yeah, that's cool. I haven't heard that band in a while.
Yeah,
they're dope.
That was definitely the first thing I thought of. As soon as you started doing the singing, I was just like, oh, yeah, I like that. I was like, there's a lot of power there.
Cool, that's cool. I'll take that. That's awesome.
So, what's the biggest influences for you guys?
I'd say Slipknot for sure, and I hate to be one of those metal bands that, says Slipknot, because I feel like every metal band says that, but I personally, like, I like Slipknot a lot, but they're not, like, my main influence. But our drummer and Aaron, our guitarist, love Slipknot. It's like their favorite band. And if you listen to, like, the instruments, if you were to listen to just guitars and drums, you'd hear a lot of Slipknot influence in that for sure. I would say, like, my main influence is Spencer from Under Oath.
Yeah.
I even got Under Oath tattooed on my stomach. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you explain it like that, the combination really comes out in the music, but I think it's really good. Like, they complement each other really, really good. You kind of got that aggressive ambience.
For sure, yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I always shoot to have a little bit of that in my music, too.
Yeah, I saw that you're in a band called Quitter, right?
I'm in, like, 8 different projects, but yeah, Quitter's my main show band right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool that you checked it out.
Yeah, I like to just do a little research before any stuff like this. I haven't done too many phone interviews or anything like this, but I was like, I gotta go check him out. He's probably in a band or something. And yeah, I saw that your profile had a couple different bands in there, but Quitter was the main one.
Yeah.
Are you from Illinois then?
Yeah, I'm from Palestine, Illinois, born and raised.
Nice, that's cool. We played Peoria one time, a couple years back.
Where were you at in Peoria?
I think it wasn't the Rail 1, but the Rail 2.
The Brass Rail 2?
The Brass Rail 2, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, the Brass Rail is awesome.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. The sound was good, the venue was good, and, like, people were really responsive to us and just, like, super nice. It was cool. It was a good show.
Did you do it through Derek?
That sounds familiar, to be honest with you.
Derek Troxel?
No, it was some guy that started with a K.
Okay.
He was in a band too, and they were kind of like gutter punk.
Okay.
Hardcore. I can't exactly. I want to say his name was Colby something, but
Okay.
I don't quite remember. I'll have to hit up Derek next time we're trying to play in Illinois, though.
Yeah, Derek. Derek, if he's still kicking, man, like he always took really good care of us. We played a handful of shows at the Brass Rail and went to a handful of shows at the Brass Rail. That's about a 4-hour drive from where we're at.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
we're closer to. I'm right on the Indiana border in southern Illinois, so I'm like Indiana,
okay.
Illinois, Kentucky.
Gotcha. And Peoria is closer to like Iowa and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, we got to go a little northwest.
Gotcha. Cool. That's rad. How long you had this show going for? I like the studio setup and stuff. That's cool.
Oh yeah, I've had it going since January. It was something that I've been really thinking about for a while, but with all the Shed Red Industry stuff, like all the label stuff, I've just been playing catch up since last September. So I finally got to a spot to where I thought this would be a really good thing to do weekly. And then I got to a point to where I want to do it like 3 times a week, and everybody's like, no, slow down, man. Just give them once a week. Do you realize how busy you'd be? And I'm like, no, it's okay. I love doing this.
Right. Being busy is always not a bad thing.
But yeah, I think this is, let's see, there's 12, 13, 14, 15. I think this is going to be episode 15 or 16.
Nice.
But yeah, it's, we're going to wrap up the first season at like 25 episodes or so. And then I'm going to update the studio, move to a bigger studio room, start having people come in studio for interviews and stuff, and like really plan it out a lot better. And I'm also going to have a travel set up to where if people can't make it to me, I'll take a weekend trip and come make it to you, and that'll be some good extra footage.
Yeah, dude, that'd be cool for sure.
But shit, yeah, this is my show. I'm supposed to be asking you questions. So how long have you been doing vocals, man?
Well, I've been doing them, I think, maybe just roughly over 10 years. Not, like, very good for 10 years, but I was definitely been doing it for 10 years. I wasn't always a screamer. I used to just do cleans, and then I took some time off away from cleans because I personally just didn't think I was very good, and I didn't like my voice, and I just focused on screams. And I feel like as a screamer, I became better around 2012. I went and one of my old bands went and recorded with Tom Denny from A Day to Remember, and he gave me a lot of tips on screaming and stuff like that, so that helped me out a lot.
Yeah, he's a really cool dude.
Yeah, he was super cool. It was really hot when we were down there, so I got pretty close to him. He had his shirt off most of the time. It was kind of weird, but he's a funny dude, to say the least.
He's a piece of human art.
Yeah, you could say that. He when I was there, he had just gotten this gorilla tattoo on the side of his face. And I was like, why'd you get it? He's like, people call me a gorilla, so I just put it on my face. I was like, whatever works, man. That's cool.
Yeah, he's definitely added a few more. I think it was
like his whole face is covered now.
Man, I think it was 2006 or 7. I think the last time I saw him in person and talked to him.
He barely had anything then.
Yeah, it just like, you know, some stuff on his arms and a few things like maybe something on his chest.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
He always wore the wife beater, so you could really see his tattoos. I believe he wears it in that Downfall for Us All video or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just like roughly, probably like 11, 12 years.
Yeah. That's is that your main squeeze, or do you play instruments, or?
Yeah, I'm mainly a vocalist, but I play like guitar, drums, and piano, but not like just like self-taught stuff. Like not super good. I mainly know like your chords on guitars and stuff like that. Like I like to play guitar when it comes to writing.
Yeah.
Just because it helps me like break down my rhythms and make structures for like choruses and verses better.
Yeah.
But yeah, Aaron's really good. He does all of our main writing in the band. Like he writes all the instruments and stuff like that, and then I come with him, and then we just write like the choruses and verses together.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I really dig it, man. You guys have new stuff getting ready to come out soon, right?
Yeah, we got a whole new, I don't know what to call it. I like to call it an album, but it's only 7 songs, and Aaron's like, that's an EP. I'm like, technically an EP is 30 minutes or less, So yeah, we have an EP coming out though. I'll just say it's easiest to say.
You know, let's say if you count it by tracks, normally 8 and up is an album.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think that's an old school. I think everybody counts it by time now. But my first deal, that's what they said. They said we need at least 8 tracks to make it a full album. And I'm like, what if we have 10-minute songs?
Right, dude. That's funny. But yeah, we got 7 songs we're sitting on right now. We don't have exact plans. I think we're gonna release a single late September.
Yeah.
Right now we're focusing on finishing up music videos for them and things like that, getting the marketing ready.
Yeah. How many music videos you doing?
We are gonna do, I think, just start with 2.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to release 3 singles, like maybe like 3 weeks within each other.
Mm-hmm.
Second single is just gonna be like maybe a lyric video or a stream video, but it has a guest appearance on it that we can't say who yet, but we're pretty stoked on that. So.
All right. And who do you do your music videos with?
I shoot our music videos.
Really?
Yep, that's I am a freelancer when it comes to like videography,
mm-hmm.
graphic design, and animation.
See, I didn't know if because I know that you had like a photography studio. I didn't know if that was like if you were just doing like photos and graphic design.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
I do it. I try to do it all. I like doing photos, but my main thing that I like to do is graphic design and like music videos for sure.
Yeah. See, that's what I kind of started doing was graphic design, and I got away from it because the world just kept changing, and I couldn't keep up. I live in a small village, and there's no need for any of that stuff here.
Dude, Photoshop and like Illustrator, they update every day, and they change all the shortcuts. Yep. I'm just like, you guys are trying to screw me here. So I feel you, man. I feel you. Luckily, yep. My roommate is also a freelance graphic designer, but he's like way better than me.
Yeah.
So I'm able to learn from him as I'm doing stuff, so that helps.
So I'm one of the guys that's like I'm self-taught on pretty much everything because out of necessity, because I was always the guy doing everything. So I'm a jack of all trades, master of none for sure. So I operate at like 75% on everything.
For sure, I feel you on that.
And I'm so envious of people that could just do one thing.
That's what I'm saying. Like my roommate, his name's Justin. He just does graphic design. He does well at it. Like he does very well. But I'm just like, I can't believe you just do one thing. I was like, I couldn't imagine. I feel like not that I would get bored, but I'm just like, I don't know. I just want to know how to do everything. I think it's just something in my brain that's not connected right or something.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I am. I always tell people instead of having too many irons in the fire, I'm like, no problem. Just start another fire.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. That's a good way to put it.
I get really excited really easy, and then I want to do all of it.
Yeah, same for sure. I really want to do short films and like movie writing too. Like I have a bunch written. I just haven't done anything with them, and just I'm kind of trying to up my gear better before I start like trying to take that serious, because I don't want to put out a short film that's like crap and people are like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I understand. I actually am the same. I have a handful of ideas that I have mapped out, and some different music video ideas and things like that have just never worked. And because I have a joke band, it's a joke deathcore band called Blacker Than the Blackest Black. And it's all about Pabst Blue Ribbon. All of it.
I love PBR.
It's all about PBR. And that's all it is. And we actually called ourselves Pappycore. But we were so ridiculous and become like, I guess, like, kind of characters to people so quick in the area that we'd planned out making a movie going to the Pappy Brewery, like going to the Promised Land, and just like making it like a rockumentary style and play a few shows on the way.
Like Spinal Tap, man, that'd be so fucking funny.
Yep.
That'd be so funny. I'd watch that.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to get that going for a while, but I want to do it right. So I've been adding ideas to it for like 8 years.
Well, when you come out with it, let me know. I'll watch the shit out of that.
Sweet. I got one in my audience.
Boom.
Ah, man. As far as the other guys in the band, man, what do they do when they're not headbanging and shit?
Aaron, our guitarist, he doesn't do professional recordings yet, but he has ambition to do that. Like that's his end goal. But he is a screen printer. He does t-shirt printing. So for a company, he's excellent at it. He's done it for I want to say 12 years,
Okay.
maybe a little less, but he does like all of our t-shirt printing and stuff like
Okay.
that. So we're kind of a band that does everything in-house, to be honest with you. I make the designs, music videos, and he prints them.
Yep, that's kind of what we try to keep doing here at Shed Rat Industries stuff.
It just is like, I mean, nothing against paying somebody to do it. I firmly believe paying somebody for their work. But when you're in a band, you're trying to tour, you're already paying for recording and stuff. You know, you have to find a way to save as much as you can. And
Yep, or generate extra revenue for it.
Exactly. You know, like that's one way I'm able to stay alive on the road is because I do graphic design and it helps put food in my belly when we're on the road.
Yeah.
Our drummer, so we have 2 new members, but they're not like full time. I mean, I don't want to say they're not full time, but they're like, the band is me, Aaron, and Matt. It's our band, and we just have 2 other members that play live shows with us, and they're in the pictures, and they'll be in the new music videos, but they don't do any writing, at least not yet, anyways.
Yeah.
But our bassist, he works with Aaron as well. He's a screen printer, has been a screen printer for a while. Our guitarist, I think he works at like a call center, I think. But he lives in Kansas City. Danny, he's super cool. And then our drummer, he does like overnight cleaning at like call centers and stuff like that. But like when nobody's there, he cleans up the offices and stuff like that. So
Sweet.
He also does lawn care with his family because his brother and his dad own a lawn care business.
What's the name of the printing business that for the screen printing?
Well, Aaron has his own that he does because he also like prints for bands on the side. But then the screen printing business that he works for is called Levante Marketing.
Okay.
They're super good and they got great pricing. So if you're ever looking for someone to print your t-shirts, click plug right there, hit him up. He does great work. Like, Aaron is a very detail-oriented person. That's why I love being in a band with him. It's also taught me a lot about detail, but in every sense of his life, whether it comes to t-shirt designs, printing them, and music, it's very detailed, and we make sure we don't miss anything throughout it, and I love that.
Yeah, that's great. It's always good to have somebody that's a little OCD-ish.
Right, 100%. Because I'm a guy that's just like you said earlier, I like to do everything. I get excited real quick, and I'm like, I think it's good. Let's just put it out. He's like, calm your roll. Let's just assess it for a second. So.
Yep. Got to have that good balance of OCD and ADHD.
For sure, 100%.
But that sounds like you guys got a pretty good handle on stuff and doing a lot of the DIY stuff.
Yeah.
Sure. How many music videos do you have under your belt now?
Like as a band or just me?
Just you.
I want to say like 17, maybe 20, including like tour vlogs. And like I spent last year on the Vans Warped Tour with a band, and I did like weekly updates and like giant updates at the end for them. So yeah, I'd probably say like 20, maybe a couple more I could be missing.
That's pretty impressive.
Thank you very much. I mean, some of my older work is like not, my older work it's old, so yeah. You always get better as you go through things, but
sure.
I'm excited for this new stuff we're going to put out. It's going to be the most pro stuff that we've done yet for sure, like video wise.
Yeah.
I just did a music video for a band from Omaha called Virgin Mary Pistol Grip, and they just wanted a full storyboard, which is like no live shots, which is like what I love. I love just like telling a story, and they didn't really know what they wanted to do, and the song was called Ginger Jesus, and it had no meaning whatsoever. Like they're like, it's just a name we came up with it, and it has nothing. So we did like a Cheers setting where everybody acted like people from Cheers, except they had animal mask on. I'll link it to you and send it to you later, but that was fun to do.
Yeah, that sounds pretty interesting. We did something similar in a band I was in a long time ago. We're called Of Parasites and Werewolves, and we used the acronym OPAL. And it was kind of like if you put the Jean Bonnet and the Chariot together, and then sprinkle in just like a little bit of like Fall of Troy.
Dude, I love the Fall of Troy, man.
So we were really weird, and we had a song called Animals in People's Clothes, and we did something kind of similar.
That's cool. I like that name. That's cool. Man, I've seen the Fall of Troy 3 times. They're so good live. I saw them with Lotus Butte once, and then Tom, the guitarist, joined Chiodos for a little bit. He did an album with them, and I saw them with Chiodos, and that was tight.
Yeah. So, you guys, do you have everything all wrapped up? Are you still working on stuff, perfecting stuff, and just waiting?
Like the album?
Yeah.
Yeah, the album's done. It's all 100% done. We just got it back like a month or so ago, so we're just gonna, like I said, finish the marketing plan for it, do videos, and then try to start fishing, but we're not gonna fish for too long. Like, we're gonna see what we can pull out of it, but yeah, like I said, our end goal is probably just to start releasing stuff in September. We're gonna do one single, another single, and then with the third single, the full EP will drop.
So, what are your expectations for the rest of the year? Like, what are you hoping to get done for the rest of the year?
I think we're gonna do just like one more small Midwest tour. Like, we were a band that used to be all about touring. Like,
yeah,
100%. We'd have to tour, but I don't want to say like we burnt ourselves out of it, because I've been touring myself in bands since I was in high school. So like every summer I was on the road. Almost every other month I was on the road. And now we just feel like how the industry is going, it's not all about touring. It's all about getting your numbers up, the stream platforms and things like that, and just having sales. So our focus really is just going to be to gain our fan base and just grow that fan base so that we have a solid following everywhere, and then see where we go from there. So our end goal probably at the end of the year is just to have the album out, and see how it grows.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you have shows lined up or anything in mind for a Midwest thing, or how far are you looking to go?
We currently have just one show booked in Des Moines with our friends in What Lies Within. We're playing at Lefty's on August 2nd. I think like what we're gonna do though is maybe just like a 7-day Midwest run that starts in our hometown and hit like Omaha, Des Moines again, KC, probably an Illinois date. Reach up as farthest we would go would maybe be Fargo, North Dakota, South Dakota, and then end in like Sioux City, which is super close to Omaha.
Okay.
So just a quick Midwest run, because we've been killing it in the Midwest for 4 years now. So like no matter what, that's always our home area and where we feel the most comfortable. And we haven't done a Midwest run in over a year. The last one we did was a West Coast tour. Before that was an East Coast tour. So we've been slowly trying to branch out and spill the name of Devil into the coast a little bit.
Yeah. Well, if you need any help getting a show in the Midwest, like around Illinois or anything like that, holler at me, man, because
I will for sure. I don't really have any connections there now, so.
Good. I will say definitely your first option, definitely look Derek up. That would be a good one.
That name sounds really familiar, to be honest with you. I feel like he was the one who pointed me towards our other booking agent last time because he couldn't do the show, but he was super nice about it.
Yeah, that would be your first bet for sure. That'd be the first person I'd point you towards, and then I've got a handful of others that I could help you out with too if I didn't do it myself.
Cool, no worries. Well, when we get to that point, I'll definitely hit you up, man.
All right, sweet. Shit, man. When you're just rolling around in your car, what are you listening to?
Well, my dudes in Samsara, they just dropped an album on Inner Strength Records, so I've been pumping that. I got a wide variety of stuff, man. I've been really into Bob Seger for some reason. I'll be straight up with you. I don't know why. It just like one day I was like, I want to listen to Bob Seger, and I haven't stopped in like the last month. I'm actually gonna put out a cover of Old Time Rock and Roll soon.
Just so you know, when you're listening to Bob Seger, it's called Seegering.
Seegering? Cool.
Yeah, you're Seegering.
Like that. Perfect. That's awesome. What else have I been listening to? Then I love Logic, the rapper. He dropped a new album, and he's just like super smart. I just love what he has to say. Don Broco, they're from the UK. Mm-hmm. I found them when they were on Warped Tour, and they're just like a bunch of fun dudes, but their music's tight. What else have I been listening to? Yeah, well, really just like a wide variety of stuff, man. I like blues too. Like I always go back to Stevie Ray Vaughan and make sure I pump that a couple times a week, you know. So just everything for sure.
Yeah. if you were going to be the classic desert island scenario, if you were going to be trapped on a desert island and you could only listen to 5 albums, what would you pick?
Ooh. All right. I should have been more ready for this one. Define the Great Line by Under Oath. In Fear and Face first album, like first full-length album. Bob Seger Greatest Hits, probably. Whatever. I don't know exactly what album. Oh, I gotta take the fucking Eagles with me. That's for sure. I love the Eagles.
Boom.
And anything by the Eagles. And then, they're probably Kisses Unplugged. Their acoustic they did with MTV. I would
Boom.
do that.
There it is. That's
I have to take
his
those.
5.
Of course, when I get to the desert island and I have those, I'll be like, fuck, I should have brought this one too. But
Yep.
so
Yep. I think you're the first
That's all-
person that's actually answered it or tried to. Everybody else is like, that's a hard question, man.
yeah, everyone tries to derive from it, but I'm like, that'd be tough because I used to be a dude that I used to collect CDs just to collect them. You know, like I love looking at the artwork and seeing the stories they had with them. I at one point had like 3,000 CDs. So that like used to be a tough question for me, but I just kind of gave you what I've been listening to most recently. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I was one of those guys too. I'm like a big musical gumball. I just roll through everything, just picking it up as I go. And
Yeah.
it used to be really bad. I've kind of got myself more narrowed down to just the things that I'm associated with, so I don't stretch out as much and overwhelm myself.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Like when streaming became a thing, like a lot of artists hate it, and I get why artists hate it. Like I still buy CDs, I still buy vinyls for my favorite bands, you know, like for sure. But for me, a guy who likes to listen to pretty much everything, streaming works well because I can just pay a monthly fee to listen to whatever I want.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it sucks worse for the artists right now. They're changing it; it'll get better. But how I look at that though is like, if you were to buy an album, that band, even if they're on a label, you know, like that band doesn't see that $10. They see maybe $2 of it, and they have to split it between the members, and then you don't count how many times that record's being spun. Well, now that streaming's a thing, as long as their album is out there, it's forever getting counted for every single play. So it's going to add up to be more than that $2 they would have gotten off that album. Personally, that's what I think. I could be wrong. That's just what I personally believe.
I mean, I don't know the exact numbers of things, but I know the numbers that I've been involved with, and it kind of seems like that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. And like, what you get for a stream has like changed over the last couple years. Apple Music does a lot better than Spotify with paying artists.
0.004.
0.004. Okay, that's what I thought. Last time I checked, it was like 0.0037, so that's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, which is like, what? But if you think about it, it's like, how do you pay for a stream? You know, like, how do you break that down? But whatever, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I'm just a love of the game, dude. I just want people to have my music, and I just want to have a good time.
Dude, 100%. Devil in the Details went on Warped Tour in 2016. Me and my old singer, we just followed the whole thing, and we sold albums to people, and we sold like a total of 1,700 records.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was the toughest thing I've ever done in my life, hands down. We sold 1,700 records, but take that times 5 for how many no's we got.
Yeah. Yeah,
At one
for sure.
point, we got so discouraged that when people would tell us no, we would answer back in Jim Carrey references. So if someone was like no, we'd be like, alrighty then, and then just walk away. So
Yeah, I've definitely heard no a lot more, or excuses. I hate it when people try to get like, man, just tell me no, it's okay.
that's what I'm saying. I have no problem you telling me no, you know, like it's whatever. Man, people would see us coming up with headphones and they'd look right at me and be like, don't even try it. That's probably the one that hurt the worst, because I'm like, you're at Warped Tour. This is what you're here for, to discover new music.
Yep.
But then there's like 10 other people with me trying to do the same thing, so I get why that would be annoying.
I think for a lot of the people, man, especially over like the last handful of years, it was more about just saying you were at Warped Tour or just being there with pictures to put on your Facebook.
Dude, I 100% agree with that. And I saw the change happen because I've been going to Warped Tour like for 10 years straight, not following it. But then the last 3 years, I should say, I followed it and then went out with the band, and I saw the change happen over those 3 years, you know?
Yeah.
For sure, 100%.
It's more of a social media, thing. That's all. Like, the people are just trying to like pad their stats. That's it. Like, oh, I met this guy. Oh, I met this guy. Look where I'm at. They're not there for the reasons like we used to be there for.
Yep. I would go and throw down all day. I'd get sunburnt and not care, like, and you could see it. Like 3 years ago, even the crowds were like bigger.
Yep.
They were rowdier. They were crazier.
Yep.
And then like this last year, if you looked in the crowd, all you'd see is cell phones.
Yep. Everybody's walking around like this or standing there in front of the stage doing this.
Yep.
And it's very
100%.
frustrating, man. It like, for me as a musician and as a fan, like, I'll be standing there next to somebody, I just want to slap it out of their hand and push them into the pit.
Yep.
Or
and
like
sometimes, Every Time I Die, you listen to them?
Yes.
Keith Buckley, dude, that dude is hilarious. I remember a video was out there on the internet where like a fan tried to get on the stage and like do a selfie with him, and he straight up kicked that fucking cell phone right out of his hand and pushed him off the stage. And I'm like, I'm down for that. I'm like, I got 30 minutes of your time. Just watch me,
Yep.
So that's funny.
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know, and I feel like all of the changes like that kind of extend outside of Warped Tour. Like, things are just getting kind of weird.
They are. The music industry is definitely in a lull right now. Or even the metal community, like, it's weird, but I hope it changes. I love it no matter what. I'm always going to be a metalhead and a metal fan, and I'll be that guy there at the concerts rocking out no matter how old I get.
Yeah. I think that the thing that's kind of changed the even like the metal scene is, I think it's a different demographic of people that are playing metal now. Like, does that make sense? Like, it's a different kind of person that you see in metal bands now.
Yes, 100%, for sure. I agree with that. I never thought about that, but now that you bring it up, yeah, I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah, it's like on the movie, did I lose you? Oh, no, you're back. Okay. It's like on the movie, 21 Jump Street, where they go back to high school, and they're like, they're like, wait, this is all backwards. The cool kids are these guys, and these guys, like,
yeah.
That's how I feel about it when I go to shows, because I'm 30 now, and I've been doing it since I was like 13. And so when I go to shows, I'm just like, what is this? Like, how do I respond to this on stage?
Yep, 100%.
I try to think of fun things to do to get them like interactive. I try to get people closer to the stage. Remember the days when people were like fighting to get as close as possible? And now it's just open.
It's funny you bring that up, because me and my roommate were just talking about that. I remember going to, so recently, Under Oath, they, like, I think it was last year or whatever, but they did their 10-year for Define the Great Line. And what sucks is that 10 years ago, I was at that tour for when the album came out.
Yeah.
And I tell people today, I was like, that is still one of my favorite concerts of all time. And not just because of like, that it was my favorite band, but the performance they gave off was amazing. And then everybody in the crowd, like, you couldn't move. And you were just constantly getting pushed to the front, and I loved it.
Yep.
And then now I get that Under Oath is like, it's 10 years later, like their fans are getting a little older, but it wasn't even close to that this time. It wasn't that movement. And I tried, like, I ran in there because I love them, and I ran in there and got into it like I did, and people didn't like me doing that. They didn't like me jumping on them. They didn't like any of that. But 10 years ago, everybody was jumping on each other.
Yep.
That was the thing, and I love that.
Yep. I get looked at like the asshole a lot because I'm trying to get people to move, and like they just look at me like, what's your problem, bro?
And like, I don't have a problem with hardcore dancing, like, whatsoever. People can do whatever they want to do at a concert. That's the point of music.
As long as they're moving.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But, like, there's a big difference between people who like to push mosh. Like, in personality, there's a big difference between people who like to push mosh and people who like to hardcore dance.
Yep. And then you got the people that just like to have the big circle pit where they all just run around.
Yeah, which I gotta admit, I've been that person before. I like to get in a good circle pit every once in a while, but I like pushing each other. I guess I'm that old time dude that is just like, yeah, let's push the shit out of each other right now, because you're not really gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
You know? But you start hardcore dancing, you're throwing, and I've seen people I've seen hardcore dancers hate mosh when there's 10 people at a show, and they're literally hitting the only people that are at the show. And I'm like, there's all this room in the venue for you to do this, but you have to hit the 3 people that are standing in front of the stage right now.
Yep. Or you catch them like backing towards people while they're doing that weird windmill thing.
Yep.
And you're like, man, you're gonna hit that chick right in the oh.
Yep. And then it happens, and then that kid never wants to go to a show again because he doesn't want to get his teeth knocked in.
Yep.
Like, I get that.
Yep.
For sure.
I used to be like a headhunter at shows, man. Like I'd look at the dudes that were being dicks, and then I'd go after them and take them out.
Hey, I like that. That's cool.
I watched a chick get her tooth knocked out at Warped Tour one year, so I went in and claimed a tooth.
Man, that's crazy. That's funny.
Allegedly.
That's funny.
Well, man, what's your favorite thing about being on stage?
Man, so I'm like a nerd, 100%. I have a weird personality. Like, when you meet me in person, it's not like normally what people think. And when I'm on stage, I feel like I'm a different person, and I finally just have the voice I need. I just love being on stage, man. I just feel like I'm commanding, and just like, it just frees me. It's like 30 minutes I have to relieve all the stress that I've had up until that point. And then when I get off, I feel like I just had a therapy session.
Yeah,
And
I feel that.
person.
I feel that, man. I've always said that it's a high that no other drug can replace.
I 100% agree with that, for sure.
And it's either for you or it's not.
Yeah, exactly. And I dread the day where I'm not able to play on stage anymore. Like, I think about that every day, 100%.
Yeah, it's always really, really stressful for me because I want to play like 2 shows a weekend. Like I want to play like every weekend and like really hammer it out and play, because I got 3 kids and a bunch of stuff going on. Like I'm not touring a whole bunch anymore. So like I want to hammer it out when I can, but I just don't really have anybody around motivated enough physically here. You know, I've got guys all over the country that I can make music with in a day, and it'll be great.
It's tough to find people that want to tour, just because touring is just so hard. It's so hard on people.
Yep, I want to play shows because I need that interaction. I belong on stage.
When I don't play a show for a long time, I feel like I'm just a grumpy ass dude.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's withdrawals, man.
Yep, ask my girlfriend, she'd agree.
I've talked to people about this before. Like when you come home from the road, what's your feeling after your first day home? What's your feeling about it?
Like, my feeling that when I first get home is like, am I ever going to do this again? Are we ever going to hit the road again? You know, sometimes I'm just really pessimistic. I won't lie to you. But otherwise, I will say it's like a relief. I'm like, okay, I can chill for a second. I have room to stretch my legs. I can get some good sleep. But it takes about 24 to 48 hours before I'm like, okay, when are we going back out? You know?
Yep.
And I'll always be that way. I mean, I used to race dirt bikes when I was a kid. So me and my dad I've been traveling since I was like 9 years old. We'd go race out of state all the time and do the circuits and stuff. So I'm just a nomad. I'm used to traveling, and it's just how my brain's wired now.
Yeah. I get that feeling after every show where I'm like, oh man, the set's over. When's the next show?
Yep.
And I've got to wait like a month or 2 at a time now sometimes to play a show, and I'm like, oh man, this sucks so bad.
Yep. Yeah, our next show is until August 2nd, so I have to wait the whole summer. We're going to shoot music videos, but that's not the same as a show.
No, it's not. But at least you got that going on. I can't even get that done, man. Like, I'm going to have to start doing some stuff completely by myself just so I can have that kind of gratification. Like, I'm capable of doing it. I play drums, guitar, piano, do all the vocals and stuff, but I don't like doing it that way. Like, I want the collaboration.
For sure. It's nice because it's like, you can have all these ideas, but it's nice to bounce them off somebody and see what they can do with those ideas, you know?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like, and I've done so many types of music, and I write it all by myself most of the time, and I feel like I've done it or said it all before, so I need that collaboration and other people to bounce stuff off of.
Exactly. You need that person that's like, all right, take this note, make it this, maybe change the beat a little bit to be faster or whatever, you know, for sure. I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, because I get to the point to where if I'm not doing it, I feel stale. But then when I start doing it myself, I just feel like it's regurgitation.
For sure. For sure.
And so I that's why I started the joke bands and stuff, is to keep myself productive, but not feel like I was getting like worn down on it. Could feel like a job, you know?
Right. Just so it's for fun. For sure. I can respect that.
Oddly enough, that's been some of my most popular stuff. Like it kind of pissed me off, but my dad called it. Like he heard the first couple tracks and he was just like, this is going to be the stuff that blows up. And I was like, you're probably right. And then I think for the small area we're in, we sold like 1,600 CDs, I think.
Damn, that's awesome. That's really good.
And we gave away a bunch more for free. Like there was different record stores that you could set stuff up at, and we would just take stacks in there, leave them in there, and then like next week they would be gone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it, bro.
And I was like, this is ridiculous. I don't even want to keep feeding them this. Like, it's fun, but this isn't what I want to do.
Right, for sure. What is that one band that sings that beer song?
Is that the Psycho Stick?
Psycho Stick. Yeah. I wonder if that's how they felt. And they were just like, well, now we're making money off this, so let's just keep going.
Maybe. I wonder, because I just didn't want to get labeled and like be in that one thing, you know? Because then if I ever have anything serious, nobody's going to take it serious.
For sure.
You know,
100%.
like, I'm a funny dude, but I also have, music is a serious thing for me.
Yeah, it's an outlet, you know, it's an outlet for emotion. So, like, you still need to be able to do that for sure, I feel you.
Yeah, and most of my stuff is motivational or like inspirational or like real life shit where I'm kind of like looking at you and like slapping you upside the head and being like, wake up, man, this is how it is. You need to do this or you're going to be right where you're at tomorrow.
Yep, that's what our band name's all about. That our band name is the best description of our life. Devil in the Details. We've always told people it's just like, don't judge someone's life, no matter what the situation is, race, color, orientation. You never know what someone is going through behind that curtain. They may have a smile on, but then you take away that smile and it could be the most depressed person in the world. The devil in the details. Yep.
And see, that's the way to approach things. Like you've always got to keep an open mind, and people always like to shut things down and say like, oh well, that's anecdotal evidence. Well, to that person, that's all they have, because that's their life and their perception of everything. So you can't just dismiss it. You have to listen, or else you're never going to know where they're coming from and what kind of path they're walking.
100%. I agree with that. That's right.
Oh man, let's see here.
It's better.
You all done with your laundry? I'm not holding you up or anything.
It's drying right now, so I had it set for like 40 minutes, so I think we're got a little bit of time left.
All right. I just wanted to make sure nobody was stealing your underpants.
I hope not. I'd be pissed. My girlfriend's going to be mad too, but I can see it from here, so it's pretty good.
All right. So if you stick your head out the window and you're like, hey,
put that underwear down.
If you go chase somebody, take your phone with you, because we want to see.
We will. Like, we're still filming. Hold on.
Hey, man, smile. Oh, shit. So, do you have any other musical stuff going on besides the devil stuff?
Not really. No, I do some of my own writing. Just like, I have like, I don't want to say like a personal project, because it's just like me, where I've been doing like MIDI drums, like the piano, bass, and stuff like that. But I eventually want to put out like a solo record. And I have like an idea of what I want to call it, like a name, and I just like, the style is going to be a lot different than what Devil in the Details is, but it's just like, I just like to write whatever. It's more like indie rock type stuff. Like, my influence that I'm trying to make for that would be like a modern day Elvis Presley.
Oh, okay.
So, but I have no like projection time on that or like goals to get it done. I've just been doing it for fun right now, and then we'll put it out for fun. So, but Devil in the Details is my main push and focus for music.
Okay. Well, I have a project that I've been working on that I'm going to be featuring a bunch of different vocalists and stuff on, I think, so I can focus on actually making music and playing guitar and stuff, because I usually get trapped as being the drummer and or the vocalist or both. So
right. Nobody can ever find a good drummer, so I probably believe that.
Yeah, so I that's one of the things I had to do out of necessity, and I kind of hate it. So I've got a project that I'm going to be doing where I'm going to be writing all the instrumental stuff, and it's going to be somewhere between like I tell people it's kind of like Maylene the Sons of Disaster and Every Time I Die put together with like Alexis on Fire and like Old Atreyu or something like that. Like I'm gonna mix it all together, like old school ambient hardcore.
Like what era of Maylene and the Sons of Disaster? Because like their last couple albums they put out were more like
anything Maylene 2 and down.
Cool. Word.
But I was gonna see if you'd be down for featuring on any of that stuff, man. I'm always looking for some people.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Just let me know when. I have an SM7B that I can always just record the vocals from my house and then send you the tracks and let you edit from there.
Sweet. That's all I'm looking for, man. I'm just I'm trying to get some stuff out there, and then once I build up like more of a portfolio of songs and stuff, maybe I can just let people kind of pick through them, or send them to people like, man, this song in my head, this guy's voice would fit better.
Right.
So
sure.
like I'm just trying to put some feelers out there and see who would be willing to collaborate, because I know a lot of people they're not really open to collaborations as much, but then there's a lot of people where it's like, hell yeah, man, like let's do that.
Yeah. That's me. I'm that guy, 100%. I'm down just to scream and yell on your track.
Sweet. Well, man, let's see here. We've been running for about 45 minutes now.
Oh, yeah, my laundry's done.
All right.
That's funny. I didn't even realize.
You got anything else you want to talk about, or anything you want to plug before we take off?
Just check us out on Spotify. Anybody that's out there listening, Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube. That's all I can say right now. That's all I want to plug. I would appreciate it if you could give us a follow. That's about it.
Hell yeah, and we're going to be giving your stuff a little extra push with this episode, and I'll be doing some more clickety-clacking on your stuff online and showing some people.
Appreciate it, man. That's awesome.
I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, give you a little insight on what we got going on, a little insight on what you got going on. These are always really great conversations for people. And
yeah, this is really fun for me. I've had a couple of these before where I've done them, and like the people are always cool, but our conversation was pretty sick today. Like that 45 minutes flew by, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I always have to watch myself because I'll end up talking for like 3 hours.
Dude, I could 100% for sure.
Well, you're welcome back anytime, man. Also, I always extend an invitation. Like for season 2, I'm going to be doing a lot of different stuff. So if you want to be like a regular person that shows up on the show and talk about some stuff, like
we'll have a new album out by that time. So
yeah,
I'm down for sure.
Honestly, I'm trying to get build like maybe a community, a little community of people that are involved with it. That way, it'll be more productive for everybody to throw some stuff in, exchange some ideas and things, because that's what we do with SRI stuff anyway. So I'm kind of trying to build a smaller community around the show outside of that.
Cool. Nice.
Well, man, like I said, I really appreciate it, and hopefully we gave some people some interesting stuff to listen to.
I sure hope so. I appreciate it, man. It was an honor being on the show with you.
All right, man. Well, I'll talk to you later, and I'll let you know about them tracks and the rest of the stuff we got going on.
Cool. Sounds good, dude. Have a good one.
Thanks for tuning in for this episode, and stick around for the featured artist.
too human. I'm still